Oh my. Oh my.
Our Saturday night boys hoops showcase features a marquee matchup in the Northern 10 Conference with two-time defending champion Colonel Crawford fighting to keep themselves in the league title race on the road in enemy territory tonight here inside of the Devil's Den to face conference frontrunner Carey, who's looking to earn their first ever Northern 10 crown. It's live and free and only on the OH Report, and you can find it anywhere the internet can be found. Coming up next.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend, we heal, we repair, we sow, we plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Welcome inside the Devil's Den for the HDER pregame show for an exciting N10 matchup between Carey and Colonel Crawford. Alongside the Hall of Famer Joe Balogh, I am Brian Skowronski, and I think this one has got more juice than a high C factory here, Joe. We got a lot going on here in this gym, of course. There's a lot at stake. Both teams, they're fast, they're physical. Should be a very exciting night of hoops.
Yeah, this is a really big game. I mean, Carey's got a chance to kind of separate themselves a little bit
here in the league and put them really in a situation that they would like to be, with just one loss. Crawford's right now, this is a must-win for them as far as the league. They can put themselves right back in the race, but a loss would really put them behind the 8 ball as we go down the stretch of the season here.
Yeah, you hit the nail right on the head. Colonel Crawford definitely in need of a victory to try for that first three-peat in the N10. Upper Sandusky was able to do it back in 15 through 18. They dropped a tough OT game at Winford on Tuesday, so they got to win tonight here, Joe.
Yeah, it's a must-win for the league, and it's also for both teams with tournament draw coming next Sunday. It's also kind of a tournament builder. Because right now Crawford, I believe, is the #1 team in the Norwalk Division 4 district, but they have Lucas right on their tail. And Carey's, I think, #4 in the Division 3 Lima district, which includes OG and Liberty Benton, 2 really good teams, and along with Spencerville, who's 15-1. So they're going to try to continue to maintain that 4 seed ranking, and a win tonight would kind of put themselves in that position.
The 2 players that's really been leading the Eagles throughout the season, their dynamic senior duo, Braxton Baker, one of the top scoring threats in the area. He's got NBA-style game, too. He shoots it with ease from range, and then I also like he can play with his back to the basket. He'll take you down to the post.
Yeah, he's been their big key, and he's had an outstanding year, especially as teams have focused on him more and more because he's their key. Shoots 60% from 2-point range, leads a team with 33 threes, shoots 41% from 3, and then just puts in 6 rebounds a game too. He's really been had an outstanding year for the Eagles.
As has Jacob Matty, a true post presence. He scores almost exclusively in the lane, and he's really elevated his rebounding at both ends of the floor.
Yeah, he's averaging a double-double, almost 14 points a game, almost 11 rebounds per game. They shoot 64% from 2-point range, and he's really become a force here probably since the first of the year. Be interesting to see how he is tonight because the Crawford staff gave us a little info that he hasn't been feeling very well today. So maybe he's going to pull that Michael Jordan on us a little bit of having a great game when you're not feeling very well.
And for Carey, that's the challenge, trying to defend those 2. And for them, they started the season 8-0. They're 3-3 since. But look at the competition that they've lost to, Joe. Obviously, Liberty Benton still unbeaten. Cardinal Stritch, very highly regarded in their region. And then Mohawk, #2 in the N10 right now.
Yeah, Jamie Young's done a great job with this program. He's built it. They're having a really solid season this year.
We'll pause now for the playing of our national anthem. It's time for the Star Spangled Banner. Nothing quite like a high school pep band to get you ready for some high school basketball action, and we've got a great one for you folks here on a Saturday night. Carey and Colonel Crawford, 2 of the top 3 teams in the Northern 10, about to go head-to-head. And in the first meeting between these 2 teams, our player spotlight tonight for the Blue Devils was fantastic. 15 points for Braden Young, and he really dictated the pace of that game. He had more than 5 assists, too, and he's one of those type of players, Joe, that I would compare him to like a quality thermos, okay? He keeps things cool. Everyone's kind of level-headed out there throughout the night, but at the same time, if you need him to be piping hot, the kid can get it going, and he can do that, too.
Usually the sign of a really good basketball team is how good of a point guard they have, and he's been a solid point guard for them all year. Can score when he needs to, can get the basketball to people in scoring areas. So he's been really, really solid, and they'll need a solid performance out of him tonight as they take on the Eagles.
And here are the Eagles being introduced now, their starting lineup for the night. So we'll take a look at them ourselves. And I think Horsley and Trevor Vogt, a senior and a junior in the backcourt along with Baker, those two have really risen their game to a new level this season with new opportunities, and they take great care of the basketball, Joe. They almost never turn it over in key situations.
Yeah, I think Crawford averages maybe like 8 turnovers a game, which is, really, really good at the high school level. They really value possessions because they're not playing maybe as fast of a pace as they played the last couple years. So those possessions become more and more important, and their ability to take care of the basketball is always the key in a basketball game.
And tonight for the Carey Blue Devils, we already touched on Braden Young. What an outstanding season he's having. His older brother Bryce going to be starting out there along with Austin Niedencore. And then Carter Smiley and Alexander Putnam, 2 kids that can really shoot it from downtown. They'll take you off the bounce too. And 4 juniors in the starting lineup, Joe. So they're a veteran group at this point, and obviously looking forward towards the future. This is a team that you expect to compete again next year in the N10.
Yeah, I mean, at this point of the year when you talk about inexperience, that's not really going to play into a lot because as you mentioned, 4 juniors, and they've got a lot of games under their belt right now. Probably several of them played last year as sophomores, so they know what this is about. It's a great high school atmosphere tonight. Looking forward to a great contest.
And that will wrap up our HDER Link pre-game show, and they are right now putting in some new fiber optics in the city of Carey. Faster internet on the way. And to start things off, it's going to be Colonel Crawford with the basketball. They're in their black jerseys with yellow trim tonight. Blue Devils in their white with blue trim.
I mean, first possession, they run Baker off a back screen and then bring him back off a double. And Carey does a really good job of defending that.
Take it inside. How about the hang time right there for Ethan Holt? And it's going to be knocked out of bounds.
It's a foul.
After a foul here from Carey. So Colonel Crawford going to hang on to the basketball.
I mean, second possessions are going to be a key, so an offensive rebound here was big. Gives Crawford another possession here to start the game.
Eagles taking their time, exercising some patience. 35 seconds already gone by as Maddie looks to go to work. A couple of bounces, and it's dribbled off of himself. And the first giveaway of the night. So here come the Blue Devils, their first possession. Here's Smiley to the rack, and he's going to get fouled and head to the line for a couple.
I mean, good court reversal by Carey. It's a sign of a good team when you move the ball from side to side and opened up a driving lane, which was something that Crawford struggled with earlier in the season. Has done a much better job here in the second half of the season.
First point of the contest will belong to the Blue Devils, and it's Smiley at the free throw line. 5'9" junior, enjoying a great season, averaging in double-figure scoring. And the Devils going to pick up here full court, man-to-man. Bryce Young applying some pressure here to Horsley. He's going to initiate the offense now through Vogt off the screen. And here's Baker. Hesitation move, runs into some trouble. Tried to get it inside to Maddie, and he's limping a little bit. And it's going to lead to this, a leak out and 2 more points for the Devils and Smiley.
Uncharacteristic, Crawford has 2 turnovers in their first 2 possessions. But the thing is, Carey's a team that knows them very, very well.
And the Eagles getting on the board. Ethan Holt inside. 6-foot senior guard doing some work in the interior.
Again, both teams showing patience in the half court. And I think, Brian, as you mentioned, one of the things for Carey would be their ability to drive the ball into the lane. Doing a pretty good job right now penetrating, but Crawford doing a pretty good job of keeping them out of that lane.
At the next head ball, we'll show you our keys to victory for both sides and see how it's played out so far through the early portion of the contest. with about 2.5 minutes off. And that's going to be kicked out of bounds here by Vogt, and an early substitution is going to be made. So it's going to be Payne to Gray, spelling out Maddie, who you mentioned. That might be a bit of a flu game for him tonight.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to give him, breaks continuously here with how he's feeling. Great out-of-bounds play.
Ending in the hands of Alexander Putnam, who sends it home. 4-point cushion here for the Devils early on.
Little things like baseline out-of-bounds plays, your ability to score on them make a big difference in games like this. That was really huge there for Carey, their ability to score there.
Foul on the arm, and it's going to be the second here against the Blue Devils. Take a second look at our Baker's Pizza replay. Excellent out-of-bounds action there, leading to Putnam. Wide open look underneath the basket. Looked like Vogt got knocked down to the floor.
You can see right now Carey's really being physical in that with their half-court defense. And now another uncharacteristically a third turnover, an offensive rebound.
And we'll see who this foul's going to go against. Looks like it's going to be Payne to Gray, who just checked in. Take another look on the replay. A Smiley came away with a theft. Would have been a tough finish with the left hand. And then the offensive rebound there by Niederkor puts him on the free throw line for a couple. Lefty is smooth with the first offering. And Austin goes 2 for 2.
That's big for Carey because coming in, they were shooting 60% from the free throw line for the year. And they start the game and they're 4 for 4 from the line.
And they've got their largest lead so far of the contest, 6-point cushion. As Vogt trying to go right at Smiley, Whelan and Dillon in the lane, and he's fouled. So Vogt will look to answer the 2 free throws just made by Niederkor at the other end.
Especially if Maddie is not feeling well, they're going to need guys like Holt and Trevor Vogt to step up. And right there, Trevor makes a nice move to the lane, spins, works to use his left hand. So Maddie checks back in. I think that's what they're going to do is they're going to try to play him probably short minute stretches, give him some rest.
Here he is, almost chasing down an offensive rebound. And we'll get a foul on Trevor Vogt. Little bump here on the near sideline. More substitutions now for the Eagles with Ryan McMichael getting into the mix. Ethan Holt will check out. Here comes Young. Gets a screen, now sends it out right side. And Putnam straight to the rack.
Got a blocking call on the baseline.
Good second look there on the Baker's Pizza instant replay.
We got a quality officiating crew. Jim Jordan, Kevin Caddis-Bias, Jeff Melcaric, all guys that have had multiple state tournament games. So you've got a veteran crew that's done a lot of big games over the years.
And I would imagine that the league takes into consideration how big competitions are, right, Joe, when they assign these officials?
When you have a really good assigner, they're going to take a look at – they're not going to put a young crew in a game like this. So that's really good to see from the standpoint of the league. They understand the importance of this game and the group that they put on this game.
Clean look downtown. Trevor Vogt back iron. And it'll be tipped out. Eagles will maintain possession here. But that's an excellent kick out there by Maddie, who drew a double team. They just couldn't knock it down.
And Maddie does a really good job. He averages almost 4 assists a game, so he understands when he gets doubled inside, he's going to try to find the open guy on the perimeter.
Vogt hands off here to Derek Horsley.
So far Carey's done a really good job because Baker has not really had a look at the basket yet. We're over 4 minutes to go in the just under 4 minutes to go in the first quarter. Maddie with another kick out.
And this time Vogt off the attack gets the friendly roll on the road.
So Vogt's been really, really aggressive. As we said many times in a game like this, it's kind of those role guys that step up. He's got off to a really good start here in the first quarter tonight.
All 5 Eagles points courtesy of one Trevor Vogt. But it's Carey on top by 3. They've got the basketball. And here's Smiley. Rainbow 3, nothing but net. And I thought we were going to get a timeout taken by the Eagles.
Smiley having a big first quarter. That 3 gives him 7 points in this quarter. And that was from the Blue Devils logo there on the sideline. So it wasn't just a regular 3. It was a deep, deep 3.
Smiley with a healthy start here. 7 points in the opening frame. He only puts up about 11 per contest. As Baker turns baseline, double teamed.
Double team.
And nowhere to go with the basketball. Poked away.
Horsley picked it up good.
Hesitation move, wraparound pass, and Smiley snuck in front of Maddie there to steal it away. This game feels pretty reminiscent of the first meeting between these two teams this season, where Carey was able to get off to a great start. And it continues, banking in a 3 there as Bryce Young, and that will force Coach David Sheldon to call a TO. Let's take another look. Big shot from the senior.
I mean, Carey's got to be really pleased with the start that they've had here in the first quarter. They've moved the ball in the half court really well, have gotten really good looks, although the last one a good look, but a bank shot from the top of the key is a little bit lucky. But the other thing they got to be really pleased with is just how they've defended in the half court. I don't think Baker's got a shot yet. As you saw the last possession, they doubled him on the baseline and made it really, really difficult. So they're making things really difficult for Crawford in the half court. Crawford's going to have to find a way to get some easy looks if they're going to be able to stay in this here in the first quarter.
And Joe Balogh, your HDER Link key to the game was to stop the Eagles in the paint. So far, check the box there. And for me, I thought Carey had to just grind out some possessions. They've been doing that as well. Pretty good so far, just taking their time, getting some good looks. And right now, they are capitalizing. So as we're back to action, it's Colonel Crawford ball. Full court pressure continues here for the Devils. It's going to be Nick Putnam who's applying it here to Horsley. Initiates the offense through Baker. 2-man game with Maddie off the wing. He drives, middle pull up. Jane, he puts it in.
I mean, you figured coming out of a timeout, Crawford was going to do something to get the ball in one of their 2 best players' hands. So Braxton Baker comes off a side ball screen, gets to about 14 feet, pulls up and shoots right over top of his defender.
Smiley having a great start to this contest, gives it off now. Here's Young off the screen, sets it up, pulls the trigger, won't get the friendly hop. And Horsley rebounds, 1 and done this time. Great pressure by Putnam and a traveling violation. Gets the Carey fans hooting and hollering here. And this pressure defense, Joe, just a full court man-to-man. It's given the Eagles a little bit of fits, which, as you alluded to already, this isn't really like them.
No, it's not like them at all. They got 5 turnovers in the first quarter. And as we said, they averaged just over 8 in the game. So, Carey's pressure in the full court and the half court has really affected Crawford's ability to get into their offense, which is what they need to do to be effective offensively.
Looking like a football score here on championship weekend in the NFL. 14-7 Carey with the lead. 65 seconds to go here in the first quarter.
Carey just does a really good job of moving the ball side to side, and when you do that, the more you move it side to side, the better chances are that a defense is going to break down. And Carey's taking advantage of those breakdowns a little bit with either penetration or somebody getting an open shot.
And here's an offensive rebound. No stick back, though. But a clean look there from Butch Broadman. after he pulled down the miss by Dominic Yater. So 25 seconds remaining here in the frame. Baker checks the clock.
Looks like they're just going to run a 1-4 low set and let Baker try to go one-on-one, see if he can get to that sweet spot.
And that's usually it for him. Went off the back iron, though, down to 2 seconds. One heave at the horn. Good if it goes, and it's off target. But a great start for Carey as they lead it 14-7 heading into quarter number 2.
So that's a big factor right now in the game because that's 5 lost possessions for Crawford.
So Coach Balogh breaking down for you guys kind of the difference right now in the ball game, and it's 5 giveaways for the Eagles here through 8 minutes of action. And Carey doing a nice job of taking care of the basketball, and I mean they're really hitting my key to success on the head, taking control of the game through just slow possessions and getting a clean look. And there's Braden Young with his first 2.
You know, as we mentioned, when you reverse the ball, and the more you reverse it, the more our defense is going to break down there. So Braden Young, after they reverse it about 3 times, makes penetration and finishes right at the rim. Going inside to Matty here. Missed it, offensive rebound and a put back opportunity, but missed it.
So Jacob Matty will head to the free throw line. And there he is, just battling inside. Doing it all himself. Of course, a little under the weather here tonight. And airballs the first free throw attempt. And he's been in such a groove here, Joe, that you can tell he's a little bit out of sorts at the beginning of this contest.
Yeah, you know, it's you give kids credit for trying to fight through things, but right now he's not feeling very well. You can tell by that free throw, but as a veteran would, he comes right back and drops one in for his first point of the night.
Blue Devils still got Colonel Crawford doubled up on the scoreboard. It's 16-8. Can't add to it, or will they? Block shot backside by Baker. And we'll get a foul here on the floor. A loose ball foul against the Blue Devils. Let's take a second look at this battle. Baker with the left hand getting a piece of it. And this is going to go against Alexander Putnam.
The great effort by 2 players. One, Broadman to get to the offensive glass, and then Baker not stopping to play, you know, blocks a shot and gets Crawford the possession of the basketball. Again, you're going to see a 2-man game here. Well, Baker didn't wait on it, but it was going to be a side ball screen with him and Matty. Now they're going into it, which is what they had run earlier to get a good look for Baker as he got to the lane. Horsley, good penetration. Getting to the lane and making the basket from about 12 feet.
First points of the night for Derek Horsley, as they trim the margin down to 6. Putnam with a bad pass off target. It's going to be intercepted here by Derek.
I think that's Carey's first turnover of the night.
Baker squared up his eyes firmly on the rim. Now he attacks, leaves it off.
Nice
Matty.
pass.
Couldn't
Good offensive rebound, though.
Yes, an excellent dish in traffic there. Matty switched it to the left hand midair, and then Baker helped bail him out a little bit. Just a hustle play, getting into the lane, collecting a rebound, and earning himself a trip here to the charity stripe.
Get a sub here for Crawford. DeGray in for Matty, trying to give Matty a little bit of blow and give him a little bit of rest.
Baker's able to sink the pair.
Crawford with a good start here to the second quarter. Have cut the lead, to 4 early in the first 2.5 minutes here of the quarter.
Now Putnam goes baseline, had to force that one up, and it's tipped into the hands of the Eagles. Baker pushing it down the near sideline to Holt. Got tangled up a little bit. And now Vogt.
Vogt, nice look. Vogt's been really aggressive, has been able to get to that lane and do that little spin move coming back to his left. Tried to find DeGray underneath the basket, but didn't, but Crawford maintains possession here. Ball side out of bounds.
Horsley's got Putnam all over him. Now to the wing, Baker. Long rebound comes down to DeGray. Putting in some nice minutes here in replacement of Matty.
Great effort there by the freshman to go to the glass and get it.
But he's going to pick up an offensive foul, jousting for position inside, Joe. As we'll take a look here. Two guys going at it down on the block.
As we said, the game was going to be very, very physical. And that call there goes Carey's way.
Be team foul number 5 on Colonel Crawford. Blue Devils, no more fouls to give. They are at 6, so it'll be bonus free throws the rest of the way for CC. From the corner, 3-ball, too strong. Baker with another strong rebound. And now in attack mode, straight to the cup. Braxton Baker leaving his mark on the second quarter.
Braxton Baker stepping up, with Matty not feeling well. He's that guy, and he's starting to show it at both ends of the floor.
Smiley was that guy early offensively for Carey. Good kick out, and this time they'll find their mark with Putnam from long range.
That's, I believe, the third 3 for Carey for the night. So right now, that's a big difference in the ball game. 9 points instead of 6 is big.
Stretches their edge back out to 5. Crawford looking for a response here as we're past the midway point of quarter number 2.
And they're going to run this side ball screen again. Looking to get Baker a good look, which they do.
Oh, big shot, Braxton Baker. Got a little giddy up to his step now as he's clapping his hands, and he got 9 now, Joe.
Yep, he's got 9. That side ball screen, they went underneath of it. He got space earlier. He took it right to the lane to score it. Here he's got to the three-point line and pulled it.
And the foul's going to go against Carey here. See if we can catch it on the replay.
Go onto the line, which is what Crawford wants to do. They average getting there 15 times a game, and they shoot almost 70%. And right now they got their best free throw shooter going to the line.
Discussion amongst the officiating crew.
I think they're trying to decide if he's the guy that's going to the line, which
certainly looked like from checking the Baker's Pizza replay that it should be Braxton on the free throw line, and that's who's going to get this first offering.
I think there might have been some discussion if there was going to be like an offensive foul. They decided it was just a common foul. So Baker goes to the line and, is an outstanding free throw shooter, which is typically what a good scorer is able to do.
Chance to tie things up with this next free throw. Can't hit it. So Carey remains on top, but they've been outscored 11-5 here in this second period. Eagles have been great at both ends. Nice take that time, spun out on Putnam.
Yeah, just good drive by Putnam, just wasn't able to finish it. Baker starting to feel it a little bit.
Heat check that time by Braxton. HDER comes down with a defensive board. Now here's Putnam, nice stroke. But the Eagles doing an excellent job of holding them to one and done right now in this frame.
And the other thing is Crawford has not turned it over yet in the second quarter, so now you can see the difference, them being able to get offensive looks.
This one tipped out after the Braxton miss. Smiley with the head of steam. Came up short on the runner. And it'll stay down here at this end with Colonel Crawford last touching it. Couple of tips there off the fingertips of Horsley. And out of bounds over to the Devils.
Yeah, that was one of the first times here in the second quarter that they've been able to get a kind of a bust-out layup look. Crawford did a good job of getting back. Just was not able to secure the rebound after the miss.
Putnam spins, turns off the glass. Gorgeous move.
Putnam now with 7 also. And a good decision there by him. He had missed 2 threes, I think, in a row. Shot faked the 3, got to the lane, and used the glass really, really well to finish right near the lane.
Great job sneaking in backside by Bryce Young, and the senior left hand blew it at the rim. Smiley's there for the putback. So quick back-to-back buckets here for Carey.
And a turnover leads to an easy basket. That was Crawford's first turnover here in the second quarter.
Baker had it poked away, right back to him. Strong dribble inside. He's missed, I think, his last 4 shots after that little hot streak. Now Braden Young to Smiley. Pops it and drops it. The Devils then on fire right now as we get a timeout taken by Coach Sheldon. A second look here. Braden Young, skip pass in transition, and Smiley smiling after he drains that one.
Crawford came out really good in the first 3 minutes of the second quarter. Now Carey's answered that with a couple, started kind of with the steal and a layup and a putback off the layup, and then they get another quick transition and a 3 in the corner. Good timeout, by Coach Sheldon to stop the run, because you really don't want this to get to double digits before the end of the half.
Carey right now on top by 8, looking to extend their lead in the Northern 10 Conference. Right now they're on top all alone, Joe, and they've never won the Northern 10 Championship, so they're in a position to do so this year, and this win would be obviously monumental as you look ahead at their next few games. They get the 3 bottom feeders in the N10 before wrapping things up on the road, or actually it's here against Mohawk. So this is obviously a big one for them to get into the driver's seat.
And I'm sure both coaches have emphasized that to their teams, the importance of this game. And as you mentioned, this allows a win by Carey here would allow them just to control their own destiny. They would not need any help at all.
Eagles, though, could shake things up atop the league standings, giving everybody a couple losses at the top. And an offensive foul is going to be the call. As you see Braden Young coming over, establishing himself outside the paint, 2 feet. Looked like a pretty good call on the replay.
I mean, that's Crawford's second turnover here, I think, in the last 4 possessions. But, you know, you got to kind of like Horsley's effort to take the ball strong to the basket. Looks like Carey's going to hold for the last possession. Coach Young going to use a timeout here with 34 seconds to go in the half.
And what a season it's been for Coach Young and this Carey crew. Talked to him a little bit before the first Colonel Crawford game when they were off to that undefeated start and asked them if they foresaw this coming this season, Joe, and he said they knew that they had some quality talent, but until you start playing in the games, you don't really know. And since they did get off to that hot start, he did feel like they were starting to turn a corner and believe in themselves as a top-tier upper echelon team, and I think they've kind of proven so far throughout the journey that they are.
Yeah, I mean, and that's, you bring up the journey, and every season as a coach, every season's a new journey, and even though you have players coming back, it's always players are going to be maybe in a little bit different role, so you got to see how those pieces of the puzzle fit together. And when you win games early like they did, it gives you confidence. And they've also challenged themselves, as you said, with the schedule. You know, that their losses are to Mohawk, I think, by 2. A very good Liberty Benton team, who currently is undefeated. And then a Cardinal Stritch team, who I think is the top-rated team in the, I don't know if it's a Norwalk district in Division III. So those wins, you know, they've learned from winning, but they've also learned, you know, from those tough losses too. So they're not afraid of any game like this.
They did win the first meeting, of course, with the Eagles, 51-47.
Yeah, and they broke that long winning streak of regular season games that Crawford had.
58 in a row to be exact. Was the tops in the state at the time. And now here's Young coming off of a double screen, looking to attack, up and under, missed it. The tip won't fall either, a third chance. And that takes us to the end of 2, as there's the horn. Coach Sheldon wanted a foul there on the last shot, not gonna get one. And what was a great physical first 2 quarters of action that sees Carey on top, 26-18. Stick with us, folks. We'll be back with the HDER Link halftime. That'll include some stats. Me and Joe will break down what we saw through a couple quarters of play and then give you our keys to success for both of these teams moving forward. You're watching live and free high school hoops exclusively on the OH Report.
Enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon. Knew as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred.
Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my lawyer, don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dying.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
We are back now with the HDER Link halftime show where after 2 quarters of play, it's Carey 26, Colonel Crawford 18, and I've got a special guest joining me here inside of the Devil's Den. Jordan Vallejo, a 2022 grad, part of that state championship football team, and also a member of the basketball squad. I imagine you got to be pretty impressed with what you're seeing from the Devils here so far against one of your chief rivals.
Yeah, with Crawford being a top team in the league, defense is everything. I thought we did a pretty good job. Braxton Baker has 10 points at the half. We got to limit him a little bit, but other than that, our defense has been pretty solid throughout the first half.
For anybody who's never been out here inside of the Devil's Den, if you can describe the atmosphere and the juice that you feel within this building where you got the pep band up there, you got the student section, and of course, this place is packed out.
Yeah, there's nothing like coming here. I don't know if it's just like the shape of the Devil's Den or something, but it's just our whole gym just gets magnified. It's so loud in here, sometimes it's hard to even think. It's just the feeling that the fans have for our boys, it's crazy.
And developing a culture and a style of play around here, talk to me about Jamie Young as a coach, and what do you think he brings to the table for this program, taking some steps here over the last few seasons?
Yeah, Coach Young's done a great job. The last couple seasons we've made pretty good playoff runs. We've been pretty deep. Coach Young he keeps on the pressure of never quit. That's the biggest thing, especially against a team like Crawford, hard-nosed. You just can't quit. You got to keep on them for 4 quarters straight.
And you were a fan favorite, of course, on the OH Report this last season when we were covering you with that awesome run to the state championship. You got your ring on today, I see. Show off the bling bling. And then you were also fun to watch on the basketball hardwood. So I just thought that it would be great to have you back on here. Let the people see the Jordan Vallejo still out here, still supporting Carey. And you're living right now within the area, right? And you get a chance to come out to quite a few games.
Yep, be here at every single one.
All right, man. Well, hey, thank you so much for the time, and congratulations on all the success, and go Carey.
All right, thank you.
All right, we'll welcome in Joe Balogh now here as we'll break down these first half stats, Joe. And we see 9 made field goals so far for the Devils, 4 of those from long range. So that, of course, has been a key factor, but I think the biggest so far is the 7-2 turnover differential, where Crawford, I mean, they checked in as, I think, the best team in the league in terms of taking care of the basketball. Not so far tonight. The Devils defense making them pay.
Yeah, I mean, the first quarter with the 5 turnovers, I don't think Crawford really got hurt as far as Carey scoring off those. But, you know, when you play the game like Crawford does, when you take away 5 possessions with an opportunity, that takes away 5 opportunities that, you know, to get a shot. And then they were really good to start the second quarter, but the 2 turnovers that they had in the second quarter both led to baskets. One was a layup. I think they missed it but got the putback. And then the other one was a transition 3, so there were 5 points right there that were really key in this game. When you take a look, it's an 8-point game. You know, those 5 points off those two turnovers were huge.
And speaking of keys, these were our keys to victory for the Blue Devils here at home to get a win. Grinding out possessions. That's something that I thought they did a really nice job of. I've seen them 4 times this season, this being the 4th, and they usually, under Jamie Young, they'll take their time, they'll move the basketball side to side, which you've complimented them for tonight, Joe, and then stopping the Eagles in the paint. How do you think they've done on that so far?
I think they've done a really good job. I mean, the looks that Braxton Baker's got have been tough looks. You know, they've done a nice job of pushing Jacob Matty off the block and outside the lane. So Crawford has not really hurt them a lot in the lane. I mean, Baker had that run there where, you know, he's kind of really been the guy that's kept Crawford in the game. So I think Crawford gets the first possession here in the second half. I think you're going to probably anticipate that they're going to go something inside to Matty or something inside to Baker right away.
And that will just about wrap up our HDER Link halftime. They provide reliable, affordable, friendly internet service to residential and business customers here in and around the area. As we've got second half action just about set to begin.
I know we're somewhat in delay a little bit here, I guess, the officials.
Before we start the third quarter tonight, we have invited our military-connected students along with their families to honor them.
And it sounds like we're honoring some military families here, Joe. Players and those within attendance that have family members that have joined our armed forces. So this is a great opportunity for us to salute them and pay our homage for protecting our great nation, America. No place quite like it. No place I'd rather be, Joe.
Yeah.
And also, if there are any veterans in attendance tonight, will you please stand so we can recognize you?
So our veterans in the house are standing up and taking a bow right now, giving them a round of applause. I think really a great gesture.
I mean, I think the OHSAs, they've really tried to reach out. I think this is kind of a week where they're really trying to make sure that we recognize our veterans and those people that have served our country. You know, that the sacrifice that those people make for our country and for their families is something that we can never take for granted.
So the Eagles going to have the basketball here to start off the third quarter as Horsley walks it across the timeline and initiates it here at the elbow.
They ran Matty on a flex cut, tried to duck Baker in, but they do, you know, Carey, having them well scouted, defended it really, really well.
Vogt's going to dribble, spin. We've seen him put that move on a few times very effectively.
Yep.
Now Baker calling for the basketball. Putnam didn't allow him to get a look. As Matty fouled, plus another one on the way. Monster bucket here for the senior to get things started in quarter number 3.
I mean, great patience by Crawford there. They did not get the look off the first set that they ran, and then they showed a great patience to put the ball inside to Matty, and he gets a three-point play to start the second half. So now as a coach, you're telling your guys, let's get a stop here, and let's see if we can get another score, and we're right back into the game like we want to be.
Gambling right there was Vogt leads a wide open Braden Young, and he sends it through.
Yeah, they dove into a passing lane, which Crawford really hasn't done much of that tonight. They've just really tried to protect the lane, and Young makes them pay with that three.
Back the other way, spinning and missing, there was Horsley. And now Matty's down on the floor, chance for a 5-on-4 for the Devils.
I mean, Matty had the offensive rebound, but just brought it down too low, and Carey had their hands all over it, forcing the first turnover of the second half.
Off the skip pass, contested there by Baker and Matty, both jump ball. Possession arrow gonna keep the action down here. As you see, a nice fight for possession right there between the senior Matty and the junior Putnam.
You know, as we said, the game's going to be physical, and it hasn't changed at all here to start the second half.
Young from the corner got the switch out with Matty, leaves
Nice
it
pass.
off. Oh, weak side block though by Baker. And it's going to be last touch by the Blue Devils. Let's check out the Baker's Pizza replay. Check this out. Big swat coming across the lane.
I mean, that's where the blocks usually come, is from the help side, and great help side defense there by Crawford.
Vogt directing traffic, wanting to clear things out. He's got Smiley on him. Only 5'9", thinks he can take it at him, and he does, Joe. Excellent.
You know, Trevor Vogt just kind of said, get out of the way, and I'm going in one-on-one, and he took him right to the basket.
He's had a nice offensive night so far for the Eagles, 7 points. And Austin Niederkor right there off that slip screen just called for the foul. It's going to be the second now.
It's his third. I think that's his third, so he's coming out. They're going to sub him out. Dominic Yater checks in for him. So see how that affects Carey here early here in the third quarter.
Young picking up Horsley as he walks it across the timeline.
They're going to run what they call wave action here, which is kind of a continuity ball screen, and see if they can get a mismatch off of the screen or a post guy rolling to the basket. I mean, again, Carey really being physical with their defense on the basketball.
Here's the freshman to Gray. Trying to set the screen now, he will. Slips it. And Smiley coming away with the turnover coast to coast. The tip in. Big shot there for the Devils. Excellent follow by Dominic Yater.
And that's Yater's first two. Came in just off the bench. Big contribution there.
Now Baker's going to get fouled on his way to the basket. You see a series of fakes. Was able to blow by Putnam. And all three fouls so far that have been called in the third quarter have gone against the Blue Devils.
And that's one of the things that Crawford has shown with their stats. They average getting to the line 15 times a game. They were to the line 7 times in the first half. So they come out really aggressive trying to put the ball in the lane and cause 3 fouls by Carey. So that'll be interesting to see how this unfolds maybe here in this quarter if they're able to get to the bonus much earlier than Carey does. Again, using this side ball screen action. I mean, Carey being really solid defensively here. Great job of putting pressure on the ball. Good job of showing help. Great box out by Putnam.
Now he sets the screen. Young goes opposite way. Foul coming on the floor against Colonel Crawford here. It's going to go against Vogt on the reach in. And Trevor thought he caught a good piece of the basketball there from the backside. Smiley's just got to whip it back into play. Into the hands of Baker, though. And here comes Braxton. Look at the freshman calling for it down on the block. Looking to go one-on-ones to the left hand, and he swirls it through.
Big basket there, big confidence builder for the young guy. You know, Crawford not afraid to put it inside, and when he was matched one-on-one, he's not afraid to take a look at it.
Back the other way, 3-ball rims out, and a loose ball foul is going to be called against the Blue Devils. It's going to go against HDER, his first fourth against Carey.
You know, and a key in close games many times is who can get to that free throw line first. And right now, Crawford's 3 fouls away from getting into the bonus. And they're going right, ran a set where they looked right back into the freshman. Didn't get it to him, but Baker getting to the lane.
Fought his way through contact. Coach Sheldon a bit upset, I think, that he wasn't able to execute that one. As the 3 goes from the corner, Smiley too strong, chases down his own miss. Here's Carey, leaving it off, and HDER sends it home. And another foul here against Carey. So we take a look at that finish back at the other end from Dominic HDER.
So as we said, HDER came in as a sub here because of foul trouble, and he's got 2 quick baskets in this third quarter, which have been big for the Carey Blue Devils.
Overshooting everything that time was Horsley. So the Devils can stretch things out back to double digits with a basket on this possession. And HDER hangs, swirls out, but a long rebound tipped to the hands of Putnam. And all alone, Braden Young, kaboom! Timeout taken by Coach Sheldon and the Eagles. And a second look here at this 3.
And that's Braden Young's second 3 of the game. But where Carey's really started to hurt Crawford is on the offensive glass. I have Carey for 4 offensive rebounds here to start the second half. And those are usually offensive rebounds lead to those wide open 3s. And the kick out to Young, big, got it to double digits. I mean, this is kind of a danger area right now for Colonel Crawford.
Yeah, it felt like Crawford was very much in the mix, and then all of a sudden you look up, and Carey with that big 3-ball, an 11-point cushion, their largest lead so far of the game, Joe, and it felt like the Eagles were competing.
Well, I think what you've seen in this game is typical in a big game. You see it, sometimes it's a game of runs. So we saw in the second quarter, you mentioned, I think Crawford came out and outscored him maybe 11-4, but then Carey came back and answered at the second half. And so, again, Crawford came out, kind of got themselves back in it, but Carey's answered this run again, and now it's kind of in a situation where, you know, it's 11 points, and probably Coach Young's in the huddle going, hey, let's get a couple stops here and get this to 15 and see what happens.
Out of the timeout, Horsley looked like he wanted to get it to McMichael. They weren't able to make the entry feed.
Yeah, so they were going to try to run a set, I think, a little bit of a duck in.
Now they do get it to him down on the block. He's chased out. Horsley dials one up from long range. And the rebound caroms out here into the hands of Nick Putnam. A couple players diving for the basketball. And it's going to be last touch by Young.
You know, big effort play there by Horsley to get on the floor, force the turnover. You know, Crawford's really working here to get the margin back to single digits. because they don't want this to get too extended out any further. So kind of going to the standard play that they've looked at is this side ball screen. Baker not really looking to attack as much on that one as he had the other two that they run earlier in the game.
Now here's Maddie, triple teamed. Shovels it outside. And the thefts by Smiley. He has had a few nice steals tonight. And takes it end to end, tipped up, no bueno there from Yeater. A lot of Eagles fans behind us thought perhaps there should have been a foul at the offensive end on the last Colonel Crawford possession. And now Carey fans want to travel. Nobody's happy in the gym.
Well, interesting lineup that Crawford has now. They're playing two bigs, which they haven't really done all year.
And now a tie-up for the jump ball. With
the last two possessions have really gotten physical. Guys on the floor, a lot of contact. Crawford would like a couple fouls called here because they're two away from being in the bonus. Maddie with the rollback. Good move inside.
Eagles definitely needed that one as we're under a minute to go here, trimming the deficit to 9.
And off of a baseline out of bounds play, so those special situations come into play a lot in the game. So it'll be interesting here. We're at 45 seconds to go in the quarter. If Carey's going to try to hold the ball to get the last shot of the quarter.
Certainly feels like that's what the Blue Devils are trying to do.
Yeah, so this is a big possession from the standpoint. A basket here is huge. Now it becomes even bigger because Crawford can finish with a basket here, and they also get possession of the ball, I believe, to start the fourth quarter.
And you credit the freshman with a big block to Gray coming from the weak side. And now Baker, pull up three, and
That's
it's
big.
nothing but net. Young comes up short as we have got 3 quarters now in the books. What a game going here inside the Devil Den. Carey on top by 6 as we're entering money time.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Good look for a score.
Carey basketball to open up fourth quarter action. Yeater with the tip in. And that's how they will get the party started here. As Carey extends their lead to 38-30. I'm Brian Skowronski. Joe Balogh with me here tonight, Joe. And
Yeater's got 6 points here coming off the bench here in the second half. He's been huge inside around the glass.
Look at the defense of Young all over Horsley, but he still wheels it in.
I mean, as a coach, you can't complain about that defense. He had great pressure. Horsley just got to the lane and able to finish a tough shot.
And for David, Sheldon gave a big attaboy to Horsley for fighting through and coming up with a big bucket. Young misses. Yeater got it swiped out of there. Take another look here on the Baker's Pizza replay.
But Yeater again, getting to the offensive glass, he has been huge. in this second half.
Young's got 8 points in the basketball. Now off here to the near side with Nick Putnam. Smiley tried to get low, dribble through some traffic.
There's Yader again.
And met for a second time by Baker in as many possessions. Braxton with 3 blocks tonight. And now Horsley looking for back-to-back buckets. Can't get it to drop.
Good look by Crawford, just didn't get it to fall. Again, game being very physical at both ends of the floor. Two teams that know each other very, very well, so good offensive looks are tough to get.
Yader with the screen, sets up Young from long range, came up short that time. The freshman with the board.
DeGray's come in and played really well, and again, as we said, this lineup's kind of interesting because it's not a lineup that Crawford's played much this year with 2 bigs in the lineup at the same time.
Off the kick out, here's Vogt, pull up in the lane. Timeout Blue Devils as Colonel Crawford with a little surge here to kick off the 4th.
Well, kind of as we said, Brian, it's been runs, so Crawford's kind of in the middle of a run right now with just over 5 minutes to go in the game. But the thing that's happened is Carey's answered that run, so coming out of this timeout, it'll be interesting to see what kind of look Carey gets, and then over the next 2 minutes, does Carey answer this run here again?
Definitely has been back and forth like a title fight in MMA or some boxing. Neither side willing to throw in the white towel as the Eagles have fought themselves back not once, not twice, but 3 times from double-digit deficits. And now it's just a 2-possession game with plenty of time remaining here in the 4th quarter.
The other interesting thing, if you take a look, role players have started to step up. Yader's come in and got 6 here in the second half. You got Vogt that's got 4 here for Crawford. DeGray's come in and got a basket. And then Horsley has made a couple really nice moves to the basket. So, you can see that both teams really concentrate on stopping the stars of the game. But the role players have no fear in stepping up and being big in the moment.
Young gets picked up by Vogt off the screen. And now here's the 3 ball on the way. Won't find its mark from Bryce Young. And again, we're going to get a timeout taken by Carey.
Carey's ability to get to the offensive glass has been big. Right now, I've got him for 13 offensive rebounds for the game. And 7 of those are here in the second half. So those extra possessions, especially in a 4-point game, are big. Crawford kind of got Carey to take a shot that they wanted to take, a deep 3 with pressure. But you got to finish the defensive possession by grabbing a defensive rebound.
Want to say what's up to everybody out there watching live and free on both Facebook and YouTube.
This is kind of a tough spot to take the ball side out of bounds. You're almost way deep in the corner. So it'll be interesting to see what Carey does here out of this side out of bounds.
And I see Eagle superfan Lori Motter chiming in the comments section, telling her Eagles to keep working and be tough. Tried to sneak that one in. No room on the backside. Niedencore had it poked away, and the Eagles, after the takeaway, almost returned the favor. Instead, it's going to be Holt fouled. And that's going to be team foul number 6 on Carey. And you talked about the fact sometimes it's just a race to get to the free throw line.
And right now it's 6-1 with 4:47 to go. So the next foul by Carey is going to put Crawford at the line in the bonus. Tried to run a back screen lob play to Maddie. They did a good job defending it.
Now Baker came up shy on the offering, and the long rebound out to Young.
You know, not a bad look, though. Pull up from 15 feet, going off his right hand, which is what he's really comfortable doing.
Approaching the midway point here of fourth quarter action, and things starting to tighten up as we'll get foul number 2 against Colonel Crawford here. And you don't see it there on our Baker's Pizza replay.
I think it was a hold off the basketball. But as we said, you know, every cut that players are making right now, somebody's getting bumped or held. So it's kind of tough for officials to call.
Smiley with a drop pass in the lane. Niederkor kicks it out. 3 ball is up. And collecting his own miss was Young. And now here's younger brother Braden. Misses. Niederkor with the follow. No good either. So Ford looks, no points. And Crawford coming away with the rock.
Crawford got a little bit lucky there. Two big offensive rebounds, and Carey just didn't finish it. So now they get a chance here to cut it to 2 or to 1, depending on if it's a 2 or a 3.
Baker took a bump, missed the shot, out of bounds. Back over to Carey. As we'll see Payne DeGray checking back into the mix, replacing Ethan Holt.
I mean, Baker did everything he could there. Took it strong to the basket, took some contact, but did not get the foul. So still a 4-point game with just about 3 minutes to go in the game.
Braden Young with the kick out. Here's Bryce from the corner. And DeGray, fresh off the bench, ends the possession with another rebound. Great job by Smiley. By my count, that's at least his 4th steal. And he can't get it to fall. Tough break there on the pull-up. So the Eagles, another opportunity here to close the window down to a single possession. It's going to be Vogt from downtown, too strong. And Coach Sheldon about to blow a gasket there. Something really upset him.
It was an open look, but probably really not the player you want to take in that shot at that time. You get to the 2-minute mark, it's going to be interesting to see what Carey does here. I mean, Crawford's got 4 fouls to give before the bonus.
Certainly milking some clock here.
Oh, almost turned it over. Fortunate that Braden Young was standing in the corner and was able to get that deflection off of his teammate's hand.
Oh, and a reach-in foul. Eagle Nation hates the call. What do you think, Joe, on this second look? Didn't look like there was a ton there. Horsley would have been off to the races, too.
Yeah.
That is one of the fouls to give, though, for Colonel Crawford. Still got to do it 4 more times, though, to put Carey on the line if they want to.
You know, now, you know, not having as many fouls maybe becomes a disadvantage because you're going to probably get in a situation where you have to foul. Because I'm assuming right now Carey's going to take nothing but a layup.
That's where Young was trying to go, where he was fouled on his way to the hoop. That's a vote on the reach-in. And so team foul number 4 on CC. Just 93 seconds remaining here in regulation. Smiley's going to get fouled up top. That'll be on Horsley. And just one more foul to give here for the Eagles. Get Ryan McMichael and Ethan Holt back onto the floor for Coach Sheldon's bunch. As there was a 4 count there before the inbound. And we'll get another foul, so the next one will put the Blue Devils on the line.
I think Crawford trying to face guard on the inbounds, almost, as you mentioned, almost had a 5 count right there. So again, they're going to try to deny here. Backdoor cut.
And now Young's going to be the player who's fouled and will step up to the line for a 1-and-1. Big moment right here for the junior guard who we spotlighted before the contest. Young sitting on 8 points.
You know, Carey shoots 60% from the line. They haven't been to the line since the first quarter, and they were 4-4 in the first quarter. So now you're going to see, do those percentages start to play out here? Shooting a 1-and-1.
Calmly connects on the first. And that's our first points in quite a while.
Yeah. I mean, Braden Young's a 60% free throw shooter, so. I mean, knocks them down both. Big.
And now the pressure here applied by Carey. Going to allow some more time to come off the clock. Of course, that's their biggest friend right now. Horsley thought about the step back. Now Vogt steps into a 3-ball. Missed everything. And Coach Sheldon says they need to foul. They will, and they'll put the gentleman on the line who just went 2 for 2, Joe.
Well, but you know, you're going by percentages. He shoots 60%, so you're thinking he's gonna miss, you know, one of these. But you know, if you take a look at the last 2, he had a really good shooting stroke and has a really good shooting stroke from the perimeter.
And that one makes it a 3-possession game now as the Devils starting to create a little bit of distance between themselves and the Eagles. But the second one isn't there. So Baker, transition pull-up, missed it. Man. Last 2 looks here for Colonel Crawford have not been close.
I mean, not the best shot by Baker, but you know, with the scorer he is, you got to put some trust in him.
Braxton's got 13 to lead the Eagles tonight. Young's into double figures now with 11. And he goes 5 of 6 here in his opportunities to help try to close the door. Blue Devils looking for a season sweep and to try to take a stranglehold here on the Northern 10. Title race, my goodness! What a block shot right in front of the Devils then.
Yeah, that got the crowd on its feet. Niemkor coming from the help side and, you know, tossing it back.
Looked like he popped the pinata wide open on that one. And thought he was going to come away with basically the game-ending theft. Instead, he's going to be called for the foul there. And that's going to put Jacob Maddie on the line for a 1-and-1.
And you got to give Carey a lot of credit. The foul situation was 6-1. They were able to take care of the basketball with Crawford really pressuring the ball, trying to deny it. And now this is the first free throws, I believe, of the second half for Crawford.
Maddie can make it a 7-point game if he executes the second. He'll do just that. Both sides with 2 timeouts each. Neither going to spend one here. And it's going to be Young going back to the free throw line where he's been very confident and comfortable.
You know, you give Braden Young a lot of credit there. You know, he's gone to the line with a lot of confidence. And he does a great job of just coming and getting the basketball on the inbounds play, knowing that he's going to get fouled.
Young looking to single-handedly ice this game.
And he's 5 of 6 here down the stretch right now. Excuse me, 6 of 7. Now he goes 7 of 8.
Stretches the lead back out to 9. Eagles gonna have to start filling it up in a hurry.
Yeah, they're gonna have to go quick.
Baker to work tough, turnaround jumper, won't get the friendly hop. Niedencore with the rebound. And now Young just gonna pad the stats here. Game high 15 for him. Chance for 2 more here, Joe. And
yeah,
you look at the all-time matchups between these two teams, and the Eagles own a 32-13 edge. But Carey, winners of the last meeting, their first time that they had won in this series since 2018. And it looks like they're going to break out the brooms here at home and go 2 for 2.
I mean, you give Carey a lot of credit. They came into the game only giving up 41 points a game. And right now it's at 36.
And another block shot for Niedencore. He's got the bounce like a volleyball player out here, Joe. Check this one out now.
Yeah, he's
Man.
He's been big here in the fourth quarter defensively with a couple big blocks.
Just crushes the crouton out of the sky. Put back for Maddie. And I think that's going to do it. The Carey Blue Devils stay in the pole position in the Northern 10 title race as they win it by 9 here at home over Colonel Crawford. And that man right there was fantastic. Braden Young going to be our Baker's Pizza Player of the Game. We'll step aside and be back, though, with your HDER Link post-game show that'll include some stats analysis and, of course, an interview with Mr. Young. So keep it right here. We'll bring it back to the Devil's Den right after this.
Enough about me. Let's start the show. Starring me.
Hop in the car, watch it go vroom, vroom. I told her mom that I will soon, soon. Knew as a child back in the womb. Oh, told her step back, I need my room, room. Hop in the car, watch it go vroom. I'm in a whip, so I gotta zoom. They tryna talk, they not in the room. I've been so real, I'm dead to the tomb. They in the way.
Coffee light on the soy milk and gently stirred.
Don't forget the sugar this time either.
I'm doing fine. Don't see the vision, they looking so blind. I hit my lawyer, don't got the time. Crossing my T's and he dying.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families, and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
We are back now with our Baker's Pizza player of the game. We've got Braden Young joining me right here and now. 17 points for you, a lot of those coming in that fourth quarter stretch, and you were awesome at the free throw line. Let's start there and tell me about just those clutch moments for you and what it feels like having to knock those down to ice out the game, and just put me in your shoes there.
I knew I needed to get the ball because I've been practicing a lot of free throws at practice and knocking them down, so I thought maybe I could knock some down in a game.
A little bit of a slow start for you offensively, just 2 points in the first half. What changed for you in terms of your mentality and your looks there over the last two quarters?
I just knew that we had to score more. We didn't have the best first half. We played great defense, I thought, only holding them to 18 points. So that's what we're built off of is defense, and then that's how we start our offenses. We get stops and then go down and score. That's Carey basketball, I guess, yeah.
And you guys were able to win the turnover battle, something that not very many teams have done against Colonel Crawford. So talk to me about that challenge, speeding them up a little bit and forcing them to give it over to you guys while you also took good care of it.
We knew that they're not used to the pressure that we use on people. I feel like we're the only team defensively that pressures people in the N10 as hard as we do. So I knew they weren't ready for it. Well, we all knew that. And then we just played good as a team. We had good help side. We've been practicing that, knowing that they're really looking for Maddie now. So we just went out there and got it done.
Obviously, this game is ginormous in terms of the Northern 10 title race. Was that something that was a point of emphasis that you guys talked about throughout the week, or did your pops kind of temper that a little bit?
Oh, he made sure we knew that this was going to be a really big game for that race. Because if they would have won, then that would have gave them a good chance in the run, and we thought we should just take them out of it.
You certainly did that here tonight with a win, because now you guys are all alone, of course, at the top, and a couple of games in between you and, you got some of the bottom feeders coming up in the Northern 10. Not that you're going to overlook anybody until that big matchup against Mohawk. So just being in the driver's seat at this point in the season, is this something that you guys anticipated, or have you kind of grown from the beginning of the season to where you are now?
I think we've grown. At the beginning of the season, a lot of people didn't think we would be where we are, but we just knew that if we go out there, play hard-nosed defense, and then knock down shots, we could be right where we are.
And what about this group of personalities has allowed you guys to develop into a team that's #1 in the Northern 10? And, I mean, you're a force to be reckoned with, I think, when you get into the tournament as well.
I mean, the kids on our team are awesome. Nobody hangs their head. Everybody's positive. Nobody whines about anything. Practices are awesome. We're competitive. And that's just what we need to be a great team.
All right, man, last but not least, if you want to look right into that camera, had a big viewing audience tonight, and give a shout-out to anybody. Now's your moment.
I want to thank my mom and my dad. My sister was mad at me for not giving her a shout-out, so I'll give her one of those. Then Zach Kamen for always telling me to attack the basket. That helps. And then Ellie, our trainer, always taping my ankles.
Oh, can we get a quick shot of Ellie over here? She's trying to run away. Ellie getting it done, too. She's the real MVP.
Hey, I can't forget about them either, my best friends.
All right, one more shot over here, maybe of the student section. That's right. The boys in the house. So, Braden Young, hey, congratulations on a fantastic performance and for being our Baker's Pizza MVP.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a quick timeout. We'll be right back to wrap things up with our HDER Link postgame show.
We toil. We sweat. We live. We breathe. We ache and cry and laugh and bleed. We dance. We play. We love. We nourish. We yearn and wish and hope and cherish. We mend. We heal. We repair. We sow. We plant and tend and gather and grow. We feed our families and the world's too. It's a calling, a feeling, real and true. We need no thanks, rewards, or dues. We love this land. It's what we do.
You have better things to do than to job hunt or scramble to find your next great hire. So let Spherion do it. We say local is our superpower because we live and work where you live and work. We know the Mid-Ohio job market, and we're locally owned. So you won't find a partner who's more engaged and literally invested in your success. If you're ready for something better, start with Spherion. Visit us online at midohiojobs.net or call 419-747-7479.
Back here at the Devil's Den, Brian Skowronski and Joe Balogh are with you for the HDER Link post-game show, and we got a show here tonight. Back and forth action. We knew that there was going to be a lot of runs going both ways, and at the end, Carey and that gentleman right there who just walked back in, Braden Young, able to ice things out, salt away the game with some big free throws. Joe, I think that we pretty much got what we anticipated here. Kind of a lower scoring game, two really good defensive clubs, and just one team had to rise to the top, and that was Carey.
Yeah, you give Carey a lot of credit. I think, as we mentioned a couple times through the game, Brian, was that Crawford had a run and then Carey seemed to answer it. But I think the important stretch of that game when it was 38-34, I think you mentioned, in your comment after about 2.5 minutes, nobody had scored.
It had been a while.
So it kind of goes back to what Braden Young said. What they pride themselves on is stopping teams. And when it was 38-34, they just continued to stop Crawford. And then eventually they put Crawford in a situation where, the fouls were 6-1. But then Crawford had to foul because, Carey was doing a great job of handling the basketball. And then, they got to the bonus, and Braden Young went to the line, I think, went 7 of 8 down the stretch.
Yeah, those were huge.
Which is huge, and that's what you want. That's a sign of a good team. They came into this game shooting 60% from the line, and in a big game they go 13 of 14. So that's got to be a confidence builder not only for Braden Young but also for their basketball team.
Here are the final stats of the evening, brought to you by HDER Link wireless internet right here in Carey. And the 13 of 14 foul shots. How many games do you see, Joe, where there's missed front ends of the 1-and-1 that keeps the door open and it just gives a little bit of confidence, breathes some life into the opposing team. They come down, they hit a big shot. Braden Young and Carey didn't allow that tonight.
And the neat thing with Braden Young is as I think he kind of mentioned it in his interview also. The stats, he was only shooting 60% for the year coming in, but he mentioned about, he had been a focus for him in practice. And then when he made his first two, when Crawford was pressuring, he just made sure that he went and got the basketball and got in his hands, and he wanted to go to the free throw line. So you really got to like that out of a player when they want the ball in their hands late in the basketball game to go to the free throw line in crucial situations.
So here's what's coming up next for both teams. Carey is going to be taking on Bucyrus on January 28th. For Crawford, they've got Seneca East on February 3rd, Joe. So it's, as I mentioned, it's a little stretch here for Carey where they've got Bucyrus and then Buckeye Central and some winnable games against teams like Seneca East as well. So, they're very much firmly in the driver's seat here to win an N10 championship.
Yeah, and your concern as a coach, will there be a letdown? But I'm going to bet there's not going to be a letdown because the one thing that's been mentioned is they have not won a league title in, what'd you say, 20-some years, I think?
I don't know when the last time they won it, but they definitely never won an N10.
And they haven't won an N10, so that's players understand that, and that's a big thing to put, that you're going to be the first team in your school to win the N10. So I'm going to assume that, if they may, I don't know if they'll practice Monday, depends. Sometimes coaches at this time give you, but with the next practice they come in, I think they're going to have a great focus about, hey, we want to continue this journey and we want to finish this journey to win a league title.
Yeah, I certainly like a lot about what we've seen from them so far this season and their progression. And what I love most about stories like this, as you know better than most, is that I don't think they thought that they were going to be a juggernaut type of team this year, Joe, until they got through the first couple of weeks in the season. And then the belief continued to grow, and here they are now, firmly in first place in the league. And I think they're going to be a real force to be reckoned with when they get into the district tournament.
Well, when you beat Crawford at home, and then you come back you beat Crawford at Crawford, and then you come back and you beat them here, a team that's been the team in the Northern 10 the last few years.
Sure.
That's got to give you great confidence. So they've got a great chance to win a league title, but they're in an extremely tough Division III district. They're going to have probably the best Division III teams in the state. Well, three of the best teams in the state. In OG, Spencerville, who's only lost one, and then Liberty Benton, who's undefeated. So that may be one of the toughest Division III districts that you're going to see across the state of Ohio.
Well, for now, for them, one of the big emphasis heading into the season was to become a conference champion, and they are well on their way to accomplishing that goal as they win by 9 here tonight over Colonel Crawford. Their first season sweep over them, I think ever, Joe. I don't know that they've ever done it. I did a little bit of research today. I went back a few years, so this might be the first time they've had a chance to beat the Eagles 2 times in 1 year.
There's probably not many teams that have swept Colonel Crawford in a season.
Very fair point. That's going to wrap up our coverage here inside of the Devil's Den. Definitely got to thank all of our generous sponsors that help bring you live and free coverage here on the OH Report tonight, including Baker's Pizza of Bucyrus, proud of their service to the community and even more proud to be the place to go after every local game or to watch your favorite team in action. Come join us today for a great meal and a great time with friends or family. HDER Link, providing reliable, affordable, friendly internet services to residential and business customers. Burkhart Farm Center, where it's farmers serving farmers. Jessica Gossman, Key Realty, meeting all your home buying and selling needs every step of the way. And First Federal Community Bank, banking locally just got a little bit easier. For everybody back at OH Report Studios that helps make our awesome graphics and our commercials, Adam Thompson and Jory Hollenbeck, and our great camera guy, Justin Wilson, who fought through some adversity here tonight. I'm Brian Skowronski for Joe Balogh saying so long here from the Devil's Den.